is much more of a chill area for me with just kind of more relaxing exploration, and none of the bosses took me that many tries. I was definitely overleveled and had a good weapon as well, the Bloodhound Fang. Let's do a little bit of Fashion Souls. So I am, or maybe I should call it Fashion Runes. Fashion Runes. I don't know. Fashion Runes. I don't know. But I am rocking the marionette armor as a mini dress, and I've got a long flowing ponytail with my helmet, so that's my outfit. And let's get on to it. Let's get on to it, exploring the Weeping Peninsula. So first up, we are in the Kalu Baptismal Church, and we got some rats. Got some golden-eyed rats who don't look like they're doing too good. And we got the giant rat. Okay. Again, these enemies are not particularly difficult when you have the appropriate level and strength. So that was pretty simple. And I like these little churches. I think they're an interesting element. What's this? The Flame of Frenzy. Seems interesting. And here we have a sacred deer. Very good. That will definitely help. So now we are in a different area, and I've got Aurelia up. Now this area is the Ailing Village, and I certainly was overly careful in this area. You can see me, hitting one guy and running away, because I was certain that there would be a boss in this area. So I keep doing that. I'm being very careful. In fact, I had already circled these guys a few times and kind of checked out the outskirts of the village, but it seems like there's nothing there. However, in Limgrave, in the Dragonburnt ruins, when I went up towards a group of people around a bonfire, a dragon boss spawned, so I think my carefulness was warranted. However, didn't pay off. Yeah, nothing happened when I hit the fire either. So, yeah. Okay, so this is about the quest line in the area. When you first enter the Weeping Peninsula, you meet this girl named Irina, and she asks you to find your father in Castle Morne, which has been overthrown. And I came back to check on her and found that she had passed. So already I feel like I was like, this area is going to have a sad story, isn't it? Just checking all the messages to make sure that there's nothing I am missing. Why is it always the lovable sort? I don't know. Now I am just placing a little marker to make sure I remember to check up on this area later, because I figure it will probably do stuff with the quest. So now we are in the Witchbane ruins. Witchbane, fighting some marionette soldiers, which is the kind folks who gave me the outfit I am wearing. So they're pretty annoying once they get into the swing of things. They can be a little tricky. But again, luckily, well, not necessarily luckily, but I am so overleveled for this area that they don't really give me any problem, especially with the Bloodhound Fang and a jumping attack. this one without much trouble, or at least on the first try. I'm definitely still taking a beating from it, but they have a powerful stomp, these trees. Oh, yeah, I'm really taking some damage. That was a good roll. But since I've done one of these before, I was kind of familiar with unfortunately they didn't really stand a chance against my overleveled self, but they looked so sad over there. So Castle Morne is a little bit confusing, but nothing compared to Stormvale Castle, which, oh my gosh, it's so confusing. These menials, I believe that's what these creatures are called, that you find all over Castle Morne, and as well as in the Morne tunnel that we were just in, really remind me of the creatures from Where the Wild Things Are, the book Where the Wild Things Are. Oh yeah, here's one running towards me, and yeah, they're pretty creepy looking. And they're fighting amongst themselves too with these soldiers, which kind of makes it nice for you if you just want to run past them, or, you know, you might not be the sole target of this group of people, which definitely helps. The menials who can fly are pretty annoying. Sometimes they were like just out of reach. When the ones are throwing projectiles or shooting projectiles at you, it can be pretty frustrating. But there we are, and goodbye, dear menials, or friend ahead. Maybe this is the NPC that I was thinking I may meet. Okay, no enemies nearby. Let's talk to them. So this is Edgar, and seems to be Irina's father, talking about how the menials have rebelled in the castle and how he really doesn't see the castle having much of a future at this point, which is sad. Now, this is jumping ahead of myself a little bit, but I have met Edgar again in Liurnia after he discovered Irina's death and kind of, you know, went on this pathway of revenge, and the interaction we had in Liurnia made me question if I had unknowingly sparked some chain of events that resulted in Irina's death. So it was kind of sad, but I just love how these games do that. They hint at little things with these interactions, and you realize that your character themselves isn't guilt-free. So now we're at the other side of the castle, going down, and luckily not dying from that fall. But we've fallen into a rat pit. How fun. So, but these rats cannot contain us. I don't know what I just said. That's fine. Let's get these rats and collect this item, a whip. And let's continue on throughout this end of the castle. Now, I kept looking at these jellyfish, thinking that they're new. They're not the same as the other jellyfish I had seen. Nice little hidden item there. So I just assumed that they would be aggroed, but they weren't, luckily, when I get up close to them at some point. But I definitely wanted to explore this whole little ground area before going through the fog wall that I suppose